What's up, my people, and welcome to the SN95 Power Channel. Today we are bringing you a driver's review of Project Kendra. Now, if you don't know, Project Kendra is our 2003 convertible Mustang GT. Now, we recently had this thing on the dyno, and with a weak or a slight custom tune, this thing made 230 rear horsepower to the wheels. Now the car has over 75,000 miles on it. It's outside of a catback system. The car is bone stock, and when I say bone stock, it still has a lot of the OEM parts on it. And I just want to give you a driver's review of how I think the car is. But first, I got something I want to bring to your attention real quick. So if you were accustomed to the old print magazines from back in the day, like Fast Fords and Mustangs, or, just pick one. Those aren't around anymore, but there is a new magazine on the block. Now, I am not being paid by this company to promote this magazine, but what I want to do is, whether I'm sponsored by somebody or not, if it's something that I'm interested in, or if I think it's a good product, I'm going to bring it to you. Now, what we have here is Mustang Hub. Now, if you remember the old print magazines, those prints weren't as large as this. Now, what I like about this, it pretty much has all these old school features print-wise as the magazines have. Feature cars, technical stuff, write-ups from or letters from the editors. And so if you were a fan of those kind of print magazines, or if you're young enough and you never had an opportunity to pick up or to read a print magazine, you should definitely give Mustang Hub a try. They do single issues, they do yearly subscriptions. So just head over to their website. Now, I know with the advent of social media, that kind of really killed these print magazines, but I don't know, for me, it's something kind of cool about just picking up a print magazine and reading it. So that's my little nugget or tidbit for the day. If you haven't, go check it out. It's definitely worth at least picking up a single issue, or you can do a year-long subscription. But enough about that. Let's go check out how I feel about Project Kendra.
Let's bring them on, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so this is our 2003 Mustang GT. It's a PI, cylinder head, means performance improvement. It's pretty much bone stock. It's got exhaust done to it. We bought it, had 72,000 miles on it. Now, this is a 4th generation Mustang. People like to call it a new Edge because in '99, Ford did something that they called a new Edge design. Basically, they changed the body style of these 4th generation Mustangs starting in '99. So pretty much there's a distinction: 94, 95, 96, 97, 98. It's SN95s, people call them that, which they are, because they're 4th generation Mustangs. And 99 to 04, people call them New Edge because of what they call a New Edge design. So 99 Ford changed the body style, and they also did a performance improvement and bumped the horsepower rating of these up to 260 horsepower. What they did is they changed the cylinder head design. They put a new cylinder head design on here. So you have a distinction in 2-valve Mustangs. You either have a NPI head, non-performance improvement, or a PI head, a performance improvement. This is the performance improvement. It has 260 horsepower, and I have to say it's slow. Now I always say, you know, speed is relative, but to today's standard, this car is slow. Like a Honda Odyssey can probably keep up with this car. This car is bone stock. Suspension wise, it still has the original suspension on it. The shocks and struts are worn in this car. The power steering mounting bushings are soft. You know, a good upgrade to just change the handling or the feel of your suspension on these cars is to upgrade the power steering rack bushings to a solid one. So this car needs basically a full suspension overdo. I believe it's got a bad wheel hub bearing in the front. And if I do that, then I might as well do the axle bearings in the rear. So if you haven't seen the video, I took this to TNT speed and my homie Mike threw it on the dyno, a Mustang dyno, and it showed 230 horsepower with a tune. Like I said, I have no idea what's all done to this car. But it's soft down low, to say the least. It's soft. Up top, you can really feel the car come alive. I believe that's just how Ford designed these overhead motors. You know, the push rod motors have more grunt down low in stock form, and they would tend to fall off up top. This car, it's soft down low, and then it really picks up some power up top. Now, when I say some power, I mean just whatever this car has. Now, this does have the factory, well, I believe, like I said, I have no idea. The older gentleman who I bought this from, it was kind of like a Sunday cruiser for him. So he was like the third owner. He didn't do anything to it. You know, he knew it had an exhaust system, but that's about it. So I think it has basically a stock 327 gear in it. The acceleration on this car is, how can I be nice? Pitiful. But, you know, this is a 2003 technology from 2003. So, you know, for me to hop in it and expect it to be, you know, fast is, you know, not fair to the car. The brakes on this thing, I don't know, I feel like it's, I know the brakes were just recently done, but they don't feel strong. You know, it doesn't feel strong. This thing just freaking understeers like crazy. And so I'm saying all this negative stuff about it, but I actually love driving this car. And the good thing about it being a Mustang is there's a huge aftermarket support for it. So even though right now it's got a ton of understeer, it's soft on power, there's a whole slew of aftermarket parts to buy to bring this thing up to today's standard power, or you know, is however big your pocketbook is. But to get this thing respectable, I don't really think you have to break the bank. Now, one of the biggest improvements that you can do to these cars is exhaust and gear. So in the red push rod, we're going to do a 6R80 in that. So basically the Circle D transmission, sorry, the Circle D torque converter I have in there can go right in this car. And actually kind of, it's gonna be kind of a perfect situation, because I believe that Circle D converter I have in that 4R70W, it's a 3400 stall, and according to the dyno sheet, I think this thing makes peak torque right around, I think 4,000. I have to look at the dyno sheet again, but you know, one rule of thumb to some people is, you know, you kind of build your torque converter around 800 RPM less than your peak torque. So just throwing that torque converter in here will make a difference on how this car feels. Throw some gears on it. And, you know, I don't really want to do too big of a gear, because this is our travel car. This car we drove down to Mustang Week. Now, going from a 327 to a 355, is it really going to make that big of a difference acceleration wise? Probably not, but I really don't want to kill the drivability of this car from how it is right now. So I want to get this car as strong as I can possible in A, and then the plan is to throw some juice on it. I'm really considering building a spare motor. For my NA build. Take this one out, just set it to the side. Put the build motor in, beat the crap out of it, and if something happens, then now I have this stock motor to throw back in here. Got this little squeak under hard acceleration. I don't know if that's belt squeak. It's a fun car. Like, I enjoy it for what it is. I enjoy it for being a comfortable little sports car. Like right now is nothing that's gonna outperform the majority of cars on the road. It's not gonna outhandle majority cars on the road. But it's still fun, you know. Personally, I don't have to go super fast to think something's fun. You know, my red turbo car and this car are fun in their own different ways. Like, I feel more comfortable driving this car. You know, as my red car, you know, I always have to be aware of, I have to think about what I'm going to do before I do it. Just because that car accelerates so fast. Where this, you know, I can just, hey, slam my foot down, take a sip of water, think about what I'm going to do, and then the car start moving. All right, so that's my little review of our 2-valve Mustang. If you're a 2-valve owner, tell me what you think. Tell me what your setup is. You know, if your 2-valve is modded, let's hear what you've done to it. What's your opinion of it? If you have a NPI 4.6, let me know what you think about it. Or if you have a PI 2-valve, let me think, or just tell me what you think about it. So make sure you tell a couple of people about the channel. Probably the first thing I'm going to do on this car is yank this truck converter out of the red car, put it in here. I really like to get as much driving time as possible because the snow is going to come, the ice is going to come real soon. So be on the lookout for that. Probably get started on that real soon. But go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate your time and God bless.